Hey everybody, Jay Smith here with another FishPod Network podcast. This one is with Liberty, the guys from Liberty Outdoors, and this was at the Tampa Bay Fishing Club meet and greet that we went to last week. We did a bunch of podcasts today. It took me forever to get to editing all these. So without further ado, please welcome Liberty Outdoors. All right. FishPod Network here, Jay Smith, and I got Nick and Andrew with Liberty Outdoors. Brought you guys in. I don't know much about your company. You guys tell me a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So we went to law school together, graduated a couple years ago. Not everyone gets to pass the bar on their first time, I found out. And in kind of the intermittent stages, because it's only offered twice a year, I didn't really know, what I was going to be doing. I enjoy fishing. I'm not really a bridge or pier fishing kind of guy. Mm-hmm. That's not really my scene. Andrew's got a small flats boat that we used to go out and mess around on. That's what I got used to down here. And so without having the money for a boat, next step, kayak.
Yeah, that's me. That's my world.
Yeah, so I was looking for a kayak, and I'm not here and I'm not going to disparage any other companies. I'll just say the market wasn't what I was looking for, so a lot of stuff that was way out of my price range, and it's really nice stuff. Again, I have, if you want a Hobie, Hobies are awesome. Mm-hmm. I don't have the money for a Hobie.
Right.
And then I also knew that I wasn't going to go get something for $300 from Walmart because I'm going to tear through it in a year.
Exactly.
And so I found a manufacturer, started talking with them. We got with them. I got some friends involved.
Way about
it.
Right?
Yeah. What's easier?
Couldn't find a kayak in his price range, so he decided to go out and start
just make my own.
Yeah, just start a company.
Yeah.
And so I got some friends involved, and we got our first order. And without knowing exactly what we were going to get, we got amazing stuff.
That's really cool.
And we're extremely happy with their manufacturer. Mm-hmm. We are their U.S. subsidiary. They sell besides us outside of the world, but as far as the U.S. is concerned, we're what they've got, and they're what we have. And so we're really, really happy with them. And we've been working with them now for a little over a year, and we haven't even been in business that long. So we're super new, and it's really exciting. There's a lot of things we want to do. I learn something every day. It's really interesting because I started a company in an industry I had no experience in.
Yeah, tell me about it. I'm right with you, buddy.
So, I was new to kayak fishing. I'd obviously never owned a company or anything like that. All my experience was an undergrad philosophy major, so what the hell was I going to do with that?
Trial by fire, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Savage.
Thank God this guy has an MBA, so that's been super helpful.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
so you brought in the heavy artillery here to get you through the spots you don't know what you're doing in, and then... Yeah, that's a good move. That's it's kind of like me and Paul. I'm the beautiful face, and he makes everything work.
Face made for radio.
That's awesome. So, that's got to be such a trip, starting off everything like that. I'm just thinking that little of time, and then designing everything the way you want it, and getting it all together. Was it a lot of work beforehand before actually going live with everything, or?
Oh yeah. So I shared. I don't even know how many hundreds of emails back and forth. And what's really fun is, obviously, our manufacturer's Chinese. They're on a perfect 12-hour time difference. So I've had a lot lot of nights.
Nick does
3 o'clock in the morning. Make phone calls.
Nick doesn't sleep anyways. So it actually worked out kind of perfect for him.
Yeah, I'm an insomniac anyway, so it worked out nicely. But just to be able to communicate, so at first I was sending 3-page long emails just to try and get everything, knowing that I probably wouldn't have a chance to go back and forth with them in that day. And so we went back and forth. The first ones that we purchased were just, whatever the style in which they were making them. And then, without knowing this was going to be a business, or let alone that we were going to really try and do something with it. And then now every time we order, every time we do something, we add a little bit more, just a little bit more, that as I learn what people are looking for, as I experience myself, man, I really wish I had a stand assist strap. That's like, the next thing off the top of my head I can think about that we're plugging along.
We get a lot of ideas from our customers.
Yeah, it's been really helpful.
Specific things that they're looking for.
No, that's good though, because then people want what they want, and then you're not counting on some suit to come up with it. You're actually getting it right from.
And our dealers have been really helpful. We got a dealer we work with in Tallahassee.
So he's
been in the business for a long time.
Yeah,
40 or 30 years or something crazy.
Yeah, we're super new. We've got one dealer in Tallahassee right now. We're looking to get into more. It's just a matter of The kayak industry is interesting in that sense because shipping is your biggest obstacle.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so not that I don't like dealers, but dealers add extra cost to the end consumer. And for the most part, you know, that's frustrating for people. Arctic has a great business model because they've cut out the dealer that Yeti uses, and so Yeti has to have extra pricing in there so that the dealer can make money and afford to run his business. And Arctic said, we'll just do away with the dealer and we'll sell straight to the end consumer. We'll spend all our money on social media and we'll get 1 million likes on Facebook, and everything we do will get shared 10,000 times and people will buy our stuff straight from us.
Right.
And that's awesome for them when you can ship something. But to ship a kayak just totally destroys my margin, and to upcharge what it would have to cost to ship it. I mean, $200 to ship it to Arkansas. No one's going to pay $200 to ship my kayak to Arkansas.
Yeah.
So dealers are a crucial part of our industry specifically. So that's the next step for us, is to everything so far. I mean, we have that one dealer. He's had one order from us. Otherwise, every single thing that I've done for the last year is Andrew's done a couple, but it's literally been me delivering to your door. So
all over the state of Florida.
Yeah, so
talk about service, right?
Literally to your door in Miami, to your door in
Jacksonville,
and then he's going back down to Miami the next day. And
you know what, though? It's kind of good, though, in a way, you know, starting off your business like that, really a hands-on approach, and people have a relationship built up with you right from the get-go. I think it could be a good thing, man. That's probably a really good thing.
I mean, that's
a good way
what
to
we're hoping.
build from there, too, you know, try to instill that on.
Yeah, because once you have that solid base that's talking about you, I think that
right.
And I know exactly what you're talking about. With working with several of these companies now over the past year, Seamule, people like that have to, you know, ship a lot of things. I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's a tough business too, because it's a big pool out there. You know, there's a lot going on.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that's the other thing. I'm so happy that there are companies like Hobie and Jackson and Wilderness, guys that can spend, or even the new Bonafide. I'm happy.
Comes in house too when you get big enough.
Yeah, I'm happy that there's guys that can spend $1 million on R&D on a new kayak. That's awesome, because they're going to make it better for all of us. I can't spend $1 million on R&D. I can't spend $100,000 on R&D.
Right.
So I'm happy that there are big companies who can do that and figure out the new ways to make things better, and then we can all benefit from that.
Yeah, the whole sport grows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly. But I mean, for the most part, we might have a kayak. So right now we don't have anything that goes for more than $1,000. Everything we sell is in package form, ready to fish out the door. Seat, paddle, rod holders, all ready. And that's because that's how I would have wanted it when I first got started. I mean, Vibe is who I looked at. I don't necessarily agree with some of the way that they've done things, and I know that, you know, there's a lot of different ideas and opinions on Vibe in general, but when I first looked at it, the package thing is great. I mean, if you walk into a Dick's Sporting Goods or something like that, I don't know how many different names I can say on this.
Sure, yeah, right.
If you walk into a sporting goods store and buy a kayak, for the most part, you're going to get the kayak.
Right.
And then you're going to buy the seat and the paddle and the rod holders and all the rest of it. And, I mean, from a consumer standpoint, that's frustrating. I give you an out-the-door fishing package. I'll meet you at a boat ramp. You can buy it right there, put it straight in the water and go. Awesome. And that makes my life easy, makes your life easy, it makes you happy, and that's our whole point. We might have a kayak later on as we add a whole lot more things that I think will be valuable enough for us to price in the $1,400 or $1,500 range. But right now, our goal is to keep it under $1,000. And the more, I mean, so everything we've done has been through Facebook, Craigslist, OfferUp, Letgo, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And I understand. I mean, I didn't have $1,500 to spend on a kayak. That's how I got into this.
It's a totally different price point.
Yeah,
sure.
And so our goal is to be able to reach out there and get everyone. You know, what I would say is the other 70 or 80% of people who can't buy a Hobie, get them out there. And the kayak fishing industry has exploded over the last few years.
It has, and it's made fishing more accessible, which is good for the sport.
Yeah.
More people buying fishing licenses, you know, more people out there and buying equipment and feeding the fishing monster. You know?
Sure.
So right now, how many models do you guys offer right now?
So we've got 4 models right now, 3 models, a single and a double. We got it's just under 10 feet, a 12-footer, a 13-footer. That's our flagship model. That's the Freedom 2. That's got...
It's got the comfortable seat.
No, at least he moved it. He could have killed us both right there, but he was very good.
Yeah, so that's got our upgraded seat. That's got the standing platform. And then we've got a double as well.
Our double, I think, is a great fishing kayak. There's not really anything else in the market. If you got 2 people that want to go together and they want to go fishing, I mean, it's got 6 rod holders as is.
That'll get it done in a kayak. Come on, right on.
2 on each side. It's got one in the middle that swivels, so you can keep your live bait and have one sitting there. You can have a couple trollers on the back. Super stable. Our double is really, I think. I mean, there's nothing really like it in the industry, which is great.
No, not certainly not at the price point. So the price point of the double is $888, and that's 2 seats, 2 paddles, 4 flush rod holders.
I saw a few of them at the Fish Kids thing there, and they look great. I mean, they look like really awesome kayaks.
Yeah, we're really
built
happy
well,
with them. Yeah,
good design,
single piece rotomold, polyethylene, and I mean, we've got the 1-year manufacturer warranty on them. But I mean, more than that, people always ask me like, oh, well, what happens after 1 year? Come talk to me. I'm a small growing company. We're not
keep our customers happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Take care of your stuff, and it's gonna last.
Yeah. That's the other thing. So I mean, sure. Can you store it outside? Absolutely. Am I going to tell you to store it outside? No, I'm going to tell you to put it inside. I'm going to tell you to wash it every time.
Cover it up. Yeah. Keep the sun off of it. I mean, be smart. I see people all the time that complain about that kind of stuff. I'm like, do you just leave this on cinder blocks in the backyard or what? That's what it looks like.
You see what the Florida sun does to our roofs.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you got to at least cover it up or something.
Yeah, and we sell trolleys as well. That's a big thing. I mean, I know.
Yeah, the wheels and all that stuff. Yeah. Oh, man, I need to actually get another set myself. That's the biggest thing, man, getting your kayak to the spot.
Yeah. Get them off the truck. You can drop them right onto the trolley, and I mean, it's easy.
Yeah, I mean, especially for the people who get lazy, like you back your truck up and then just drag it
Start
off.
Dragging it up there.
Just drag it in
then they're
going to
come complain that it didn't last.
Yeah. Right. And I mean, those hulls aren't thin.
Yeah.
But if you drag that kayak around
that's
for 3 years,
that's
you
60, 80 grit sandpaper every time you do that across there,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
No, I mean, so maintenance is something else.
It's always important. About. If you're going out in the saltwater, especially, you better take care of your stuff.
Yeah, you got to.
And I mean, that's kind of nice because you have a built-in base that has it. Most of them have an understanding of general maintenance. I mean, even washing your reels. That's the most basic thing you can do. Wash your reels.
Quick if you don't do that.
Yeah.
So wash your reels and just
spend $200-300 on a reel, and then you come out to use it one day and it's frozen solid.
Go wade fishing. That thing better not go in the water.
Yeah, you get you a nice lead weight after it's all over. So, well, you say you just got into kayak fishing not too long ago. What got you guys into fishing? Were you been in fishing for a while since your kids? Or
I grew up in Wisconsin. Moved down here 12 years ago to go to college. So growing up fishing on the Great Lakes, and I live right on the Mississippi River, fishing the Mississippi River. I liked it. It was awesome. But when I moved to Florida, you get down here and had some buddies that grew up in Texas and grew up in Tampa Bay. And they'd take me out fishing, and it's totally different.
A whole nother world.
It's just, I mean, it is the best. Going out there, I mean, there's nothing better than it. It's so fun. Mostly inshore fishing, done a little bit of offshore fishing. It's kind of the same boat. We were met in law school. I had a little, flats boat. I'd take Nick out, and once you get out there, it's easy to get hooked. Yeah,
it's so funny once you take somebody out, and then next thing you know, now they're blowing up your phone. Hey man, when are you going fishing again?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I have. I'm a really new fisherman. I started just before law school. My parents are from South Africa. And my opa, that's Afrikaans for grandpa, in South Africa. He's a huge outdoorsman. My uncles are huge outdoorsmen, but that's on my mom's side. My dad isn't a huge outdoorsman, so I didn't really grow up fishing. When my opa would come visit, then we went fishing. So about just before law school, so about 6 or 7 years ago, he came and we did a little bit of bass fishing in the ponds in Orlando, where my parents live, where I went to high school and all the rest of it. And it wasn't really until I came to law school and met Andrew and some of these other guys.
Moved to Tampa Bay and get out there every weekend.
I have a similar story. I didn't start fishing until later on. I fished a little bit when I was crappie fishing at the grandparents' pond or something or like that. But I didn't really do anything serious until I was later, like in my late teens, early 20s. And then it picked up from there. I always ask people that because I'm always interested. A lot of people tell you, I've been fishing since I was a little kid. I always feel like almost at a deficit to those people sometimes.
Definitely.
I'm always looking for those extra little tips that I didn't get over those years.
Well, the kids that grew up in Tampa Bay, like some of my friends have been here forever. It's like they live right on the water, and they've been going, in the summers when they didn't have any school, and they went every single day.
Yeah.
Those are the guys. They're pretty good.
Yeah,
it's definitely an advantage for sure.
That's why I started this whole thing here. Like I would hear all these great stories all the time, and they would just go to the nether, just to disappear, nobody ever hear again. But then too, like these people that were way better at fishing than me.
Yeah.
Like I could be like, hey, I got this show. You can come tell me all your secrets. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to piss off all your listeners here or anything like that. but I always found the whole secret spot thing. I mean, coming in as a new fisherman, a little bit odd. I mean,
There are no secret spots. I can tell you right now.
oh yeah, in Tampa Bay,
Somebody's fishing your secret spot
Sure.
right now. They're
Sure,
there right
but-
now as we speak.
Yeah.
But for people to be,
Yeah.
so secret about it, sharing numbers and all the rest of it. I mean, I get it. If you've spent so long developing the numbers, you don't want to go out there.
Well,
and
you
have someone
definitely
else on
don't want
your
to give
spot,
it
but-
out for free. You gotta let people work for it where they can. But I'll hear it all the time, man. Hey, man, we're gonna go out tomorrow. I don't want you telling anybody about the spot.
Oh, yeah,
we'll
yeah,
get there.
yeah.
I'll be like, dude, everybody knows about this stop. What are you talking about, man? This is everybody's spot right here. Come on,
Right.
stop.
Nick, tell them about your day you had the other day. I mean,
Oh,
my
man.
God. This is right out here.
Yeah, right out here,
right outside of
Cockroach
Ruskin.
Bay. I went out with some buddies, and we caught some live pinfish out there on the flats, and we saw a guide a couple 100 yards away from us, and so we tossed out, and we were kind of just hanging out watching our rods, and the guide, they just kept doubling up, and we were like, man, they are slaying over there. And then another boat rolls up like 100 yards, or less than 100 yards in on the guide, and we were like, what is this guy doing? Like, this is not etiquette when you're getting that close to someone, especially when he's killing it like that. But they kind of chatted and seemed amicable, so it's fine. And then he starts doubling up. So now both those boats are sitting there just doubling up, and we're like, oh my God, we got to get over there. We had no bites, nothing going on. About 10:30, they finally leave. We get over there, and there's a school of all slot and above size reds.
Yeah.
And it was
We're just on 'em.
earlier this week, right before the storm. They were freaking out, and for 3 hours we just dominated. It was in a boat of 3 people, I swear to God, we caught 70 fish.
Those are the days that keep you coming back when you get skunked.
Oh yeah, it was unbelievable. We had got skunked the night before. We
Yeah.
went out on the kayaks by
Oh,
the
it
Skyway
happens. It
and
happens.
just got dominated. And so then the next day it was just unbelievable.
I'm at work, and these guys are like sending me pictures.
Yeah.
And the boat's just filled with
You're
reds.
like, stop,
They
dude.
can't get
Stop
them back.
sending
Yeah.
pictures
Yeah, I was
until
just
I'm
like-
home from work.
I quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw a few guys on kayaks out there, and man, one guy on the kayak, his reel broke off of his rod, and so he has the rod and the reel separately,
hand.
and he's trying to like hold the rod under his arm and use the reel to reel in
That's hilarious.
hit the red. I think he actually did bring it in.
That's a savage for you right there. That's if I'm losing my reel, this fish isn't coming in. This is gonna happen, man.
Yeah, but yeah, so those are the days that definitely keep you coming back. And then our warehouse is on the water. I used to work for a seafood company in St. Pete, so that's where we have our warehouse at. And so I go out there and cast into the channel every now and then. So I went out there and threw about 20 casts in the channel and didn't get anything the other day after this had happened. I was like, man, fishing's boring. If I'm not hooking up every cast, what am I? This is what you get that expectation. Like, I'm ruined now.
Right.
Until I go
Spoiled.
get skunked for like the next 20 times,
Yeah.
I'm ruined.
That's funny. It will keep you coming back though, because you like, man, there's that chance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, we get them schooled up like that on this side here. There's an area over in the Fort DeSoto area everybody goes, and you just kind of learn to be cool with each other. And that guy probably did it the right way. Like, hey, man, mind if I creep up? And
Right.
then if it's a big school, I've seen as many as like 6 and 7
Yeah.
boats all circle around one school. And as long as everybody comes in quiet and it's courteous, don't get too close to the guy next to you, everybody can catch fish, man. There's so
Yeah.
many of them out there at that
Oh,
time,
yeah.
you know.
It's like that out Wheaton Island too.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, man.
Wheaton Island is pretty nuts sometimes. That's
Yeah.
I mean, the
We've seen
craziest.
some pretty hostile boats.
yeah,
out there.
some
We
bumper
know-
butts going
Yeah.
on and people threatening lead weights.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, the craziest thing was the size of the pinfish we were catching them on, though. I mean, by the end, they were smaller, way smaller than the palm of my hand. I mean,
Yeah.
like silver dollar size.
Mhm.
But it just didn't even matter.
Yep.
At that point, I mean,
frenzy.
yeah, they just, you threw it out there, and if you even got close to where they were, it's just going to get eaten.
Those are the days when even guys, I'm a lure fisherman mainly. And even if I'm having a rough day, I can get into that situation right there. You just throw a jig in there and you're hooking up. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so initially when I moved to Tampa Bay for law school, which is almost 6 years ago now, and I started fishing with Andrew and some of our buddies, you guys were still on the artificial bait grind. And
It's just because
shortly,
we're not very good at throwing a cast.
yeah, and so
Me
shortly,
too.
like, not even a year. So I mean, I'm a year and change into fishing, and less than a year into fishing in Tampa Bay. And Andrew gets a cast net, and we switch over to artificial bait. And that
It took
was
us a couple
life-changing.
hours to fill the live wells, but we get
It
them
did,
done. We
but-
get it done.
but I mean,
go
yeah.
out there, chumming is key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not
And live bait
chum them up
fishing is
thick
just
and
different. It's
have a
it's
couple
different
beverages
game.
while we're waiting and throw the cast net.
Yeah, I usually, whenever I'm with a bait chucker boat, I'm like, oh, I got this back thing. You know, trick shoulder. So yeah, if I'm on the boat where people are throwing bait, I'll throw it. But normally, if I'm out in the kayak, I don't want to mess with trying to get bait or
No, it's hard. Yeah.
you know, or even tote it around. It's just a pain to me. I'd rather throw some good lures and just
Yeah.
have a whole array of stuff. And
Yeah, you bet.
I something about kayak fishing, man. Just the freedom. You know, I can kind of, even if I'm with people, I can kind of break off and do my own thing.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
nice.
And then I like to get out of the boat a lot too, and I'll tie the boat right to me and let it drag, you know, dangle behind you, and just kind of walk the edge of the flats and check things out. Or being able to stand up in your kayak is awesome too. That makes a big difference there
Yeah.
for me too. Sight fishing and all that. I don't know if you guys are in sight fishing at all, but
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
for redfish, that's
Yeah, it's-
super helpful. That was one of the things we were really excited about earlier this year. We got our new model, the Freedom 2, which is a 13-footer that has an upgraded aluminum folding seat that has a high-low, two positions, a high and a low position, and a little standing platform. And I mean, that is super easy to stand in a cast. I can stand in some of the other
Changes
ones to
the game,
cast,
doesn't
but
it?
it does. It
Yeah.
does. And I've got like a 4-foot cast net that I can throw off that now. I mean,
Oh, you're throwing
depending
a
on the
cast
weather.
net out?
Yeah, depending on the weather.
that is a stable boat. I'll give
if
you
the
that.
weather's
man. Wow.
if the weather's good, you know, I'm,
Either that
I'm
or
not
you're
throwing
really
it in
good at
threes.
balance, man. One of
You
the
got
two.
better balance.
The balance, yeah, I do have good balance. That's one of the things I don't want to say I've never. You have a wood table here. I've never gotten seasick, so you know that's certainly
Yeah, I
helpful.
never really had a problem with that. I don't go offshore a lot, so I haven't really had.
I don't
that
either.
kind
I
of
got a
thing.
little seasick offshore a couple weeks ago.
Did you? I'm sure it can happen to anybody. You get
Yeah.
out there.
I mean, I didn't think I could. I've been out a bunch of times. Never was before, but it was really rough that day.
It's probably the day you got all cocky about it. Man, I never get sick. Quit being a sissy. You get out there.
No, yeah, for sure. Dramamine. I think I was making fun of someone on the way out about taking Dramamine.
Where you?
And later I was like, hey, man, you bring in
Can I have one of those Dramamines, man? Yeah.
I took a
know.
little nap.
Get it over with now. Come on.
Back in the game.
That's hilarious. All right. Well, what is the best way for people to follow you guys online? Website, Instagram?
Yeah, so we've got Facebook and Instagram. I try and be as active as I can. I just got back from a 2-week hiatus in South Africa, so we didn't post for a while
What,
there.
no pictures from South Africa, man? Come
There,
on.
there were a
A few.
few. So
Don't be
actually,
boring, man. What's wrong with you?
I was able to go hunting with my uncle out there, so
Awesome.
we got
That's
some
really
pictures
cool.
there.
Nice.
Yeah, help a local farmer out with the dove infestation.
Yeah?
because those
Did you guys
things get
have
nasty.
some good luck then?
We did. Oh
Good
yeah,
deal.
we
That's
slayed.
a good time.
Good.
So we're pretty active on Instagram. You can always reach us on Facebook. We're building our website right now. I didn't want to put something out there just to put it out there.
No, just have a static page. You want
Yeah,
an interactive site and
I mean
everything.
Yeah, you bet.
the Facebook functions. I mean, you can see on our shop.
There's a lot of companies that just go straight Facebook, man. It's
Yeah.
really a hub for business right now. So
I mean, informationally, all our information is on there.
Yeah.
Under the shop, you can see the different models. We got the write-up on each of them, the specs on each of them, so you can see all that. And hopefully in the next couple, I mean, I don't want to promise anything, but we're working on a website. It's coming.
all right, we're holding you to that.
And so yeah, so Facebook and Instagram are the best way to get in
Is that
contact
at
with us.
Liberty Outdoors or?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we got no numbers, no dots.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. And libertyoutdoors.us is our website. That goes to
In
our
the
Facebook
works.
page right
Okay.
now. But yeah, that'll be done soon.
Okay, good deal. Well, hopefully we can get out fishing with you guys one of these days. We'll set some up, get some cameras out,
Yeah.
go catch
Yeah,
some
you bet.
redfish or something.
Yeah,
that'd
It'd
be
be super
awesome.
cool.
Awesome.
And
all right, well,
love
thanks
to
for
do
sitting
it.
with me today, guys.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Andrew,
Thank you.
Thank
thank you, buddy. Well, all right, everybody, we'll see you in the next one. All right, thanks for watching this episode of the FishPod Network podcast. You can find all of these podcasts and everything FishPod related at fishpodnetwork.com. You can also find all of these podcasts in audio form on Google Play, Stitcher, and iTunes, SoundCloud, anywhere you can find podcasts. While you're there, leave us a review if you would. It helps the podcast along. Give us a subscribe and a like if you like what you hear, and we'll see you in the next one.